actually bring item number 10 first this morning because we have, oh, he's not on? Okay, you'll just let me know when he gets there. Okay, well then we have somebody join us for TAC for liability insurance renewal, so when he comes on, we'll get there. All right, so we will, item number 2, discuss and take possible action on approval of personnel action forms.
Okay, the first one's Autumn Clark, increased with approved slot. Next one's Ramiro Estrada, resignation. Anthony Welch, transfer to Deputy Chief Public Defender. Gary Cleveland, transfer to Deputy Chief Public Defender. The next 3 are just an internal change for us on position codes for PDO. And then the next one is Chad Bull, felony public defender. A vacant position, felony public defender. The last ones are all just internal position code numbers. No changes in salary, just something for us.
I'll make a motion that we accept the personnel action form.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the personnel action forms. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 3, County Auditor Monthly Report.
Good morning. So the balances that we have here are beginning of December. First graph, we have the rolling 12 months, what we had December 2022 versus what we have December 2023. Then you have a breakdown at the fund level, what each fund had last month versus what we have at the beginning of this month. The biggest change there is Fund 131. We're finally able to get out of the red. We received the $400,000 contributions from all the 5 counties. We received quarter 4 from TIDC. So at the beginning of December, we were out of the red. I expect us to go into the red, but not by $500,000 like we have been on a month-to-month basis. And then we have our debt service. We don't have that 10, 16, 17. We paid it off this November. In May 2024, Precinct 1 and Precinct 2 will pay off the dump trucks. And then in February 2024, we'll pay off 10 Series 2021. And Melissa did say we're really, really nice. She might send us some money from the new tax rate this month. All right.
In December.
In December. I don't know what really, really nice means though. But.
So she sends it this month. Will it be distributed where it needs to go this month?
Yes.
Probably.
I mean, depending on what day of the month she
Okay.
sends it.
Right on the 31st. Any other questions? All right, thank you. Item number 4, discuss and take possible action on acceptance of the fiscal year 2023 Department of Justice State Criminal Alien Assistance Program Grant Award for the Sheriff's Office. So,
It's an amount that we get based on the number of illegal aliens that we house if they've been there for at least 4 days
it's a very
consecutively.
small amount, $5,500.
55, 22% goes to an agency that helps us out with the grant, and then we keep the rest.
But it's still
I'll make a motion to accept the grant.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to accept the fiscal year 2023 Department of Justice State Criminal Aliens Assistance Program grant from the Sheriff's Office. Any other discussion?
I don't think we've ever heard of grant down there.
Probably not. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 5, discuss and take possible action on authorization to purchase a 2023 Dodge pickup for the Sheriff's Office. So this is we had a Tahoe that's been totaled that about a month ago. Unfortunately, you can't even get your hands on a Tahoe anymore. They're not available. Gilbert's driving a Tahoe that's fairly new that they had done some unmarked. And so this is a Dodge pickup to put Gilbert in, and they're going to equip that vehicle back into a unit for on the road. And this is on a buy board through Grapevine. Yeah, Grapevine, Chrysler, or Chrysler Dodge, or whatever they are. Buy board 742-23, and the amount's $44,685. And I believe our total is about 50, right? About 50,000 for the total.
We're doing 51.
No, the one they got total.
Oh,
Total is in our insurance company for the total, I think it was about 50,000.
I'll make a motion, we purchase the Dodge pickup truck. Do you realize buying a Dodge, you're like next to walking?
Unfortunately, it is what it is, because that's all that's available.
That's what they got a bar on the front? Yeah. Okay.
More better than walking.
The whole thing or just the main part of it?
Just the main part.
Okay. I have a motion and a second to purchase the 2023 Dodge pickup for the sheriff's office on the buy board contract 724-23. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 6, discuss and take possible action on approval of line item transfers.
We have one from the PDO. We're moving in $13,030 from contracts into legal, and that's for the West Lawn, which is budgeted in the lawn account.
I'll move that we approve the line item transfer. Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the line item transfers. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 7, discuss and take possible action on approval of accounts payable.
So for accounts payable, the total is $1,499,532.74. And the over 10,000 is a little lengthy this time. It does go on to the second page where it shows the 3-wire transfers as well.
I'll move that we approve the accounts payable accepting the district attorney forfeiture fund number 51 on page 16.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the accounts payable exception of the VA forfeiture fund 51. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 8. Yeah, that's fine. We can go ahead and do it. You want to go ahead and bring them up and then we'll. So we're going to move it to 10. Who's on with us?
It is Don Gray, our
Don Gray.
insurance consultant.
Did we do it all in favor?
I'm sorry?
Did you do all in favor for that? Yeah, okay, I didn't hear it, so I wasn't sure.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I still didn't hear what you said. All in favor? All in favor, I got it.
Okay,
Need to look at it so I can read your lips.
Yeah.
Takes both.
now you're
Did you
not.
send me for a hearing test?
I don't always hear everything either.
Go ahead and do it. Okay, all right. Item number 8, discuss and take possible action on approval of disbursement of funds since last Commissioners Court meeting.
Yeah, so we paid utilities twice on November 29th and December 6th, totaling $23,842.98.
I'll move we approve the disbursement of funds. Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the disbursement of funds since last Commissioners Court meeting. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Item number 9, discuss and take possible action on approval of the county treasurer's monthly report.
This treasurer's report is for the month of October 2023. We have a cash balance of $21,026,768.37. And our total debt owed by Medina County is $24,792,030.
Move the county treasurer's monthly report.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the county treasurer's monthly report. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 10, Jennifer, you got it on there? Ready to go? All right, item number 10, discuss and take possible action on approval of proposal from TAC for renewal of liability insurance. Mr. Gray, can you hear us this morning? Hello, Mr. Gray?
Shows he's there. Video off.
Yeah.
There's no microphone.
It all looks like it should be on.
I want to make a motion we accept this recommendation.
Well,
We have for 13 years.
yeah, I think, and I think actually Jennifer, if you just a couple of quick highlights for you guys is,
That's what we're paying for.
you have a couple of changes on cybersecurity, right? It goes from 2 million, it said to 1 million for public official liability on cybersecurity coverage. And then there's a new thing on the law enforcement endorsement I saw. It changed, let's see. An endorsement for your district attorney has been added as a new optional endorsement under law enforcement liability coverage. And I did see in the very end that we do have that coverage. And the only comment that I had on it, Jennifer, it was in here, somebody had made a note, but on an exhibit C, it says extended coverage to the district judge instead of saying district attorney.
I did see that as
So I guess making sure that when we get this, that it's actually
actually correct.
been corrected. The premiums are up 17%, about $57,000 over the prior year. And Mr. Gray's comment, and it is laid out in this document, but the majority of that is the vast majority of that is the increase in our law enforcement personnel and the liability insurance that comes along with having them as we're growing. It's
It's just the way it is.
liability.
My house insurance went up flat 20%.
So that's the, Jennifer, do you feel like, did I get the highlights of
You did, yes.
what I identified?
And I mean, if there's any other questions, I can try and get him on the line. I noticed he had called me a couple of times. I don't know if he's having technical
Yeah, it
difficulties.
says you can't see his microphone, you can see video. And I told him maybe it's not on, he said it's on his cell phone, so
Okay,
I don't know what to tell him.
yeah.
Well, I'll redo my thing. I still accept it with the exceptions of making sure these others are adjusted right or reported.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve the renewal with TAC of the liability insurance. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You can tell them you're going to somebody else.
If you have to want some of that, I'm sure.
Okay.
Let's be talking about it.
Item number 11, discuss and take possible action on adoption of a resolution amending authorized representatives with tax pool investments. And we do have a new resolution in there, and that is to put Jennifer and Amy Loeffler as the
Yes.
people on.
So tax pool is just requiring that Amy is added so that she can have view access to tax pool along with the ability to actually transfer between tax pool and our cash accounts.
Move that we adopt the resolution amending the authorized representatives Second.
Have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution amending the authorized representatives with text pool investments. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 12, discuss and take possible action on acceptance of donation of phone charger plugs from Joaquin Broom for the Sheriff's Office. This is for 78 iPhone chargers. I think, what does an iPhone cost today, $1,000? But all they do is send the cable with it, they don't send the actual block, so you can charge your phone. Apparently it's too expensive. So anyways, the sheriff, all those phones that they got, they didn't have the little charging blocks, and this is, Mr. Green actually donated little blocks to them. So,
I will make that motion to accept the donation.
Second.
have a motion and a second to accept the phone charger donation from Joaquin Broom for the Sheriff's Office. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 13, visitor or public comments. Got any this morning? None. Merry Christmas, no? All right. All right, then we will stand in recess until 10 a.m. All right, good morning again, and welcome back to the 10 o'clock portion of the Commissioners Court regular meeting. At this time, we are going to have item 15, and we are going to utilize our Zoom this morning for this portion. So Jennifer, are we... All right, Gabriella, can you hear?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. All right, so we are going to take up item number 15, discuss and take possible action on the approval of phase 1 of the design build courthouse proposal with McKinstry. Just a little quick background, and this is Gabriella Fierro that's on with us from McKinstry. As you all know, we've been working through the process of going through to apply for our historical restoration of our historical courthouse. We did go out for RFPs and had McKinstry that we brought on board to help us through the process. Initially in this process, we thought there may be up to about $150,000 it may cost us to go through the master plan and all of that. But since then, we have been successful somewhat and do not have to totally redo the master plan, which is going to save us a substantial amount of money. So with that in mind, we're going to talk about that first phase and how the deadlines we're trying to meet and where we're trying to get to. And Gabriella, I'll let you kind of take it from there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, yes, as a brief review this year, we identified the THCPP, that stands for Preservation Program grant to restore the courthouse. And so we were successful in finding out that Medina County does not need to tear down the courthouse additions, which I know is a relief to the community and those that have offices within the courthouse. And before you today is a proposal to update that plan. So in working with the THC, we are trying to find out a way to have a competitive proposal and be able to do amendments to the existing master plan so that the county does not have to go and completely redo the plan that was already done. And so on pages 3 through 6, we've outlined the scope for doing that, for making that update. And then you'll find that there's also an overview of the entire process. So from now to the application to the design needed after the funds are awarded, that would be almost a completion design, and then the actual implementation of the courthouse renovations. So I want to clarify that this proposal does not commit the county to doing all of those steps. It just provides an overview so that the counties are well aware beforehand of what it will take to go all the way to that point. So for today, it is just to get the county ready to submit a competitive application. And so you'll see the total out-of-pocket funds. Those are non-THC funds. For the submittal, you cannot use their grant funds for that portion. So you'll see in those 3 steps the the 25,000 steps, what needs to get done before we can submit an application. And so the total is 75,000. Like the judge said, we were happy to have brought this down since there are amendments that are needed and financial information that we're able to do without completely redoing the master plan, which is good news. And then post the application, they would then let us know how much they're allocating towards Medina County, and from there we would work for the next steps that would be able to get funded by the THC grant.
Okay, and today, what we have in front of us is FAR Phase 1, which is the grant development services, so today is for the $25,000.
Or is it for phase 1 through 3?
No, Phase 1.
Just phase 1. So it's just the grant
Correct.
portion.
Development portion. Correct.
Yes, ma'am. And so we separate those 3 steps out so that each time we come back to Commissioners Court, give you an update, and then you vote to approve. Makes it easier to collaborate that way.
So the next several months, we'll go through these processes, but this is Phase 1 of it. So, and the recommendation for this part is from the ARPA monies is what we had talked about for this piece, right? Some of the additional ARPA monies that we still have.
For the 25,000.
Correct. That would be the recommendation.
Okay, for all the newspaper people out there, I would love to see the front page of the paper. We are not taking off the wings of the courthouse. That was my first question to ask when we started working on this. It's going to be just like it's left, just rebuilt.
Does anybody else have questions for Gabriella on anything?
I don't know if I understood this correctly, Gabriella, for phase 2 and 3, those amounts of 25,000, are those expected to change or are those fixed?
I was able to catch the beginning of the question. Towards the end, it dropped off a little bit.
The question is, the other 2 amounts are set, the 25 and the 25, those are fixed amounts for the Phase 2 and Phase 3?
Yes.
So, Commissioner Castelloni, I don't know if this is your question, so the 75,000 is an expense that the county's going to have to take on. That's not reimbursable, but right now, the one that the Commissioner's course approving is the first phase.
Is the first phase.
Correct.
So it really is the grant writing portion and is it the grant writing portion or is it the gathering of the data that would use to support the grant?
It's basically gathering the information, which includes the updating the master plan. That's part of the grant.
So you have to update the master plan first. And Ms. Vieira, I don't know if you know this off of the top of your head. One, how much does the Texas Historical Commission give out in these grants per year? And is it based on each county's individual need? Or is Medina County going to be requesting a specific
No, it's
dollar
based,
amount?
this is up to $10 million.
Okay.
And it will matter, I mean, all of the criteria that goes into this, when they look at it, will be how much the award is going to be. But it was $6 million, and in this new, last legislative, they went from $6 million per project up to a maximum of $10 million per project. So, and I mean, some projects, they may award $600,000 to, so it depends on the project. Ours would be a major restoration, so we would hope that we would qualify and get the full amount.
Okay. So what I'm looking at is basically what is going to be our return on the county's investment. So if we know that the first phase is going to be 25,000, and we already know we're potentially having to spend another 50,000, how much are we going for?
Well, we're hoping for the full amount. That's what our hope is on this one.
Are the other 2 phases going to also come out of ARPA funds, the phase 2 and phase 3, $50,000?
That's the plan. We still have to work on what we have allocated those funds for, what has changed. But I can plan on sitting down with Judge and going over those numbers. And Claudia's gonna be taking the lead on this. She's gonna be looking for other possible grants that may be able to take on these expenses and reimburse the county for them.
I'll make a motion that we approve phase one of the design build courthouse proposal with Main Street.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve phase one of the design build courthouse proposal with McKinstry. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, thank you, Gabriella.
Thank you, sir.
Item number 16, discuss and take possible action on final approval of Hunter's Ranch Estate subdivision Phase 3 located in Precinct 2 off of County Road 381.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Judge. My name is Andrew Ortega, DCR Engineers. We're seeking final plat approval for Hunter's Ranch Estates Phase 3. We just finished construction. It's a subdivision of 24 residential lots. They all meet the 1 acre minimum. It's going to be served by public water by Yancey. It's a public, or I guess county roads, but privately maintained streets. We have everything.
I figured Harry tried to pull that off over the weekend.
He's sticking to it. Project's complete, and they're ready to start building.
Anybody has a whole back of these quite unique looking houses, they're quadplexes,
Fourplexes.
and I think they sold 60 of them. Somewhere, I heard last week, at $1 million pop. It's gonna be similar to what y'all have going on over there. But, it's really unique design, but if you haven't been by there, go out and look at it, because that's quite nice. That being said, I will make a motion that we pass the final on the Hunter's Ranch Estate subdivision, Phase 3. And like I said, all the roads in there are maintained by the HOA or however he wants to take care of it.
We have a motion and a second for final approval of Hunter's Ranch Estate subdivision Phase 3 located in Precinct 2 off County Road 381. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 17, discuss and take possible action on acceptance of construction bond number GM 213854 for Amanda Park subdivision.
Good morning, Commissioners. Similar situation to what he just presented. Amanda Park is nearly complete. We are coming to you guys for a construction bond. We are plat recorded. County spec streets, they're privately maintained as well. I think we're at 74 lots for phase 1. I'm on phase 2 here pretty quick. It's Yancey water, solid sewer, kind of a unique situation. Right across from the street from the elementary school, on 381 and Trenton.
Yeah, this is another one that's gonna be HOA, taking care of the streets and roads. The construction bond, I think they sold the project, the way I understood it, has been sold.
Not yet, but yeah, they're
And
working.
this here is what's going, I had our engineer go there and they took a look at what needs to be finished up. And that's what the amount of the construction bond as far as, we kind of went off our original one was 150%, but it didn't meet what we needed to get done. So they went ahead and moved it on up to $92,000 something to assure that the project's going to be finished. And with that being said, I will okay the construction bond.
I have a motion and a second to accept the construction bond number GM 213854 for Amanda Park subdivision. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Number 18, discuss and take possible action on final approval of Amanda Park subdivision Phase 1 located in Precinct 2 off of County Road 381.
With the thing being said, on this thing here, it's just, here's the layout of it, it's phase 1 of it, and the $92,000 will take care of anything on this project if it doesn't get completed. We did do some cooking turn lanes, if I'm not mistaken, that were their original, because the school is going in across the street from them, and they're gonna have a red light there anyhow, so there's no sense in making them spend the money to put in a, what do you call it?
There's some concerns that it was caused.
Acceleration lane.
Yeah, it was an acceleration lane that was caused some traffic confusion.
So with that being said, I will make a motion that the final approval of Medina Park subdivision phase 1 located in precinct 2 off County Road 381.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to grant final approval of the Medina Park subdivision phase 1 located in precinct 2 off of County Road 381. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you, Aaron.
Item 19, discuss and take possible action on final approval of Medina Meadows East subdivision located in precinct 3 off County Road 520 and County Road 512.
Yeah, this one meets all of our criteria. The only issue I have with this subdivision is the infrastructure. There are no roads or anything, but they have a service agreement with West Medina Water, granting that West Medina will supply them with water if they meet certain criteria, mainly boring underneath one of the county roads to get the water out to the lot, which that has not taken place yet. And so I don't want to run into a situation that we're going to address here in a little bit where we grant final approval and the developer packs up and leaves, and everybody that buys these lots is expecting public water to be there, and the infrastructure never got done. So I know that Maggie brought up the last court meeting or one before, that we ought to consider doing some kind of a bond, not only for the roads, which just doesn't have any, but for also the infrastructure that's supposed to be built in order for the water developer or the water provider to provide the subdivision with water. It's not in our subdivision regs, so I don't know that we can currently do that now.
It's in the local government code, references the fact that if the water infrastructure is not there, that the county shall require a bond. I can pull up the code real quick if I need to.
That's great. It's not in our regs, so does that create a problem for the developer saying, look, we're following your subdivision regulations and it's not in there? Does it have to be in there?
Well, I think that's something we can revisit in the subdivision workshop.
I agree.
In January, but I think at the end of the day, I think the commissioner's authority is statutory, and I think we need to follow what's in the local government code.
Okay.
David, on one more note, I'll go over the what. In our rules and regulations, or regs, whatever you want to call them, anything with 14 lots or over needs to have fire protection. Does that fire protection?
Well, it's supplied by public water. That's if they're not supplied by public water.
Yeah.
And it will be.
So will that be a red hydrant or a black hydrant?
Well, I don't know, it may just be one of those blow-off valves at the end. We have a lot of them going to do the hydrants.
Yes, and we have done several of them.
Yeah. So, yes, if the water never gets there, then yes, they have to have fire protection also. If the water's supposed to get there, they have a service agreement, and West Medina will supply them with water, but they have to do their due diligence to get the water there, and it has not been done.
Well, I think we need to require a bond.
Okay?
I mean, government code gives us the authority to do it, and I think that's...
The total bond.
I agree. I mean, it's the only way we can.
We just did it. And all I tell you, I'm having a road board right now to have a 2-inch line put underneath it, and you're looking at $2,500 a lot. If the water's on the other side of the road, every lot's going to be bored, or are they going on a main?
They're going to run a main underneath and then supply each lot with that main.
Yeah, but like I say, I don't know if they're planning on going to each lot across the road with them.
No, I think they're going to do one across the road.
And then a main right.
And then from there.
Yeah, then they'll take 20-foot easement.
Yeah. So I'm fine with that, because in item number 22, we're going to address what happens when the developer does not do what they're supposed to do and leaves people without water. So I don't know, I'm assuming that's not their intention, but up to this point, it has not been done. So if we need to require a bond, then we could just table this, and I'll get in touch with them and say, this is what we have to require. And make that happen.
Okay, so you want to table?
I'll make a motion that we table item 19 until I was discussed.
Have a motion and a second to table item number 19. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, item number 20, public hearing. Receive public comment on the application to vacate and replat portions of Lot 21 and Lot 22 of the Lewis L. White subdivision located in Precinct 1 off of County Road 4401. So this is public hearing, and we'll open the public hearing at 10:19. And Commissioner, do you want to just, do you have a brief on this, or somebody have a brief on what we're doing? Gary, do you have a brief on it, or
Well,
just a quick, just read this public hearing? Yeah.
right, we got preliminary approval of the plat, previous meeting, so we're here today to present the plat for final approval. It's basically a 40-acre tract where the owner wants to sell off 4.5 acres, and since it lies within an existing subdivision, we're required to do a vacate and replat. So we're here to do.
Anybody from the public have any comments on this item? Okay, then we will close the public hearing at 10:20. We'll take up item 21, discuss and take possible action on final approval of vacate and replat portions of Lot 21 and 22 of the Lewis L. White subdivision located in Precinct 1 off of County Road 4401.
So as I said, we have preliminary approval on this plat and vacate replat. And at the preliminary hearing, Commissioner brought up the fact we had omitted or removed the 10-bar lane off the west side of the property. We've now put that back on for Commissioner's request. It was also requested that we provide an access easement, since the existing County Road 4401 sort of ends before it gets to the 4.5 acre lot. It was requested that we provide an access easement from the end of the county road to the 4.5 acre lot through the remaining lot of the property. Although there is a 10-bar lane that runs along the east side of the 4.5 acre lot, we're not getting any kind of legal verification of whether that's usable as an easement or not. So following the recommendation, we provided an access easement. And it's shown in the detail below the subdivision plat, which is well up there. So we're, at the end of the pavement, we're extending the easement down 30.7 feet south of the north end of the pavement. And then just angling over to another property corner that should provide plenty of access.
Does this give it access to the remaining lots, so somebody keep open buying lots, or cutting out this one piece?
Any other lots that
Is there any other property that can't be accessed without going through this property? That's the question.
At this time, there is no plans to sell off any other lots. If they do, they would have access to the county road if they're south of this 4.5 acres.
Yeah, the only one that could cause a problem was if inside the 4.5 acres where anyone wanted to do something later. Everything else has access. Hopefully that's the only thing.
You see on there where the county road stops?
Yeah.
So the rest of the frontage of the 35.5 acre remaining lot is on the county road. In fact, that's how they're accessing it now, is from the end of that county road. They're accessing the entire 40 acres right there.
And that was her original driveway.
That's her
She
driveway.
did not want to.
She really didn't want to do the easement, but if we got it, we got it.
So this is a way to access that 4.5 acres
Yeah.
off of that corner.
That's what we're going. The only issue would be if they wanted to sell something back in here, they have to give easement because the problems further north.
For the north.
Yes. So if the future property owners, 4.5 acres, wish to further subdivide, the only access point that they would have is the little triangle access.
Right.
So at that point in time, it is their responsibility to either allow access
Allow access
through
or,
there, or to work with the adjacent property owner to get further north
Right.
to where if they subdivide into having these separate entities.
right,
So this is just to get access to that 4.5
to
acres.
make sure that
Yeah.
there's legal access.
There's legal access.
Because it's questionable about access through the lane. Now, I know the commissioners raised the point when we were going to remove the 10-bar lane from the west side of the property, the commissioners were concerned that we might be preventing somebody's access. So I was kind of wondering, do we not have some sort of legal access on the 10-bar lane that exists on the east side of the property? So we're not a definite answer from anybody. So just in order to make sure they have access, that's why we're doing a little separate triangle easement. I think those were the only issues that were brought up at the last meeting. There was mentioned water, but it's over 3 acres and outside of the bedroom, so we don't need any water.
Any other questions? Okay. So I recommend final approval to vacate and replat portions of lot 21 and 22 of the Lewis L. White subdivision, located on precinct 1 off of County Road 4401.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to final approve the vacate and replat portions of lot 21 and 22 off of the Lewis L. White subdivision. Any other discussion? Yes. Sorry. It only took 1 minute. I slept through it. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Don't worry, you'll get a second chance at public hearing. All right, item 22, public hearing. Receive public comment regarding the application to cancel Lot 6 from the Encino Hill subdivision, which is filed in volume 7, page 288 of the Medina County plat records, located in precinct 3 off of County Road 5710. I'm going to open this at 10:27 a.m. and it is now open for public hearing. And Commissioner, do you want to give us a brief on this?
Yeah, if nobody else wants to speak on it. This is the agenda item that I was referring to earlier. This is the development that was done under the pretense that East Medina would supply them with water if they met East Medina's criteria. What this was approved, I don't know, back in 99 by the Commissioner's Court. At that point, without that criteria being met, the developer packed up and left, and the criteria was never met, and East Medina said, we're not going to supply you water. And so those people have been without water since 99. Some of them have dug their own wells, and some of them have opted to say, what if we got out of the subdivision? And East Medina said, then we'll supply you water. It's right there, but as long as you're within that subdivision, we're not going to give you water. And if you get out, we'll give you water, because you'll meet the criteria that we asked for, whereas the subdivision did not. So a lot of these lots have gotten out of the subdivision, and I'm not sure what processes they've gone through. Jennifer looked up the history, and I believe she's got an order approving them to cancel their participation in the subdivision. And if the order will do that, then East Medina will then work with them to supply them with water. So that's what we're looking at doing in the next, on number 23, the next agenda item.
Do we have anybody here for public comment on this? Okay, then we will close it at 10:29. Item 23, discuss and take possible action on approval of the application filed to cancel Lot 6 from the Encino Hills subdivision, which is filed in Volume 7, page 288 of the Medina County Plat Records, located in Precinct 3, off of County Road 5710. So I think everybody's heard the...
Yeah, if you look at this, I think there are 15 lots, and all but 4 have canceled their participation in the subdivision. After we do this one today, if it passes, there'll be 4 left, and those folks have already drilled wells. So requiring the developer to post a bond would have eliminated this problem. The county could have then spent the money from the bond to do whatever they needed to do to provide the water. So that's what we will be addressing in our subdivision regs, I'm sure.
And the thing it is, David, I think it'd be, make sure we have a timeline when that's got to be done. You know, 1999, trying to get the same water line that you're putting in there is not going to work. It's just going to have to, you know, we need a timeline on some of the stuff. I know I did some on one of my subdivisions for 2 years, or 1 year on yours. We did it 1 year. They have to be completed in 1 year. We can't wait 23 years and then expect them to do that. But like I said, that needs to be in the language what we're going to be using, because this is basic. This gets into the mess.
Yeah.
And going from a water line hookup, you know, $5,700 for yes water to drill a well down in that area, you could be looking at $150,000.
A lot of these people to cancel lot number 6 will allow them then to deal directly with East Medina, and hopefully they can get water to their lot. So I'll make a motion that we approve the order, let's see how to word this, an order approving the application filed to cancel lot 6 of the Encino Hills subdivision.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second that we approve the order, which is cause number 1211-23, canceling the Encino Hills subdivision for lot 6. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 24, discuss and take possible action on approval of a contract task order for professional engineering services for the FEMA and C&CB project scoping grant, master drainage plan with Westwood Professional Services.
Thank you, Judge. Sure. All right, this is in regards to the C&CB grant that we started in September 2022 and submitted to the Water Development Board in December 2022. Then it went to the federal government that following month, and they reviewed it, gave requests for information back to us. Beverly and I worked hard on getting those RFIs back, and it was approved in September of this year. And this is to do the master drainage plan across the county. And I have some items in here of what that entails on our last slide. But this was a national competition to get 75 to 90% federal funding for these projects, and Medina County was awarded 90% federal funding. We were one of 15 selected in Texas, so it was a good job, a lot of competition on this one. Same time, we've been after the Dehennis grant as well. That one is still pending till springtime award, and that was one of 21 that were awarded across the U.S. So that was a really good job. So if you go to the next slide, please. The total cost on the project was around $540,000. The non-federal share, so Medina County share would be $54,268, and federal share of $488,412. Medina County has paid $20,000 already towards this to get the grant. That was awarded last September, and so those pre-award fees get reimbursed at the time of reimbursement from the Water Development Board. So the total non-federal share that Medina County can anticipate spending over the next 12 to 16 months would be $34,268. And Around that time, last September, we met with all the commissioners, court, the judge. It was a different court than we have now. We identified all the major problem areas that each commissioner wanted to evaluate in greater detail with this plan. We anticipate once this grant starts in January, that we would re-meet with everybody and make sure we have everybody's list on what they want to evaluate as part of this grant. And then we would start digging into this in more detail. If you could go to the next slide, Jennifer. This is the anticipated schedule. It should take about 12 to 16 months to develop this plan. The first steps would be to meet with the commissioners, meet with the staff, floodplain administrator, and identify all the major drainage problems, start developing the level of risk across the county, identifying 10-year floodplain, 100-year floodplain, 500-year, and then we can start developing project concepts that can go for federal construction money once awarded. And so we would develop the projects, do the benefit cost analysis as required by the federal government, reach out to the public, engage them on what the county is doing, prioritize those projects, and develop an implementation plan, and identify how those projects would be funded into the future. I have here in October of 2024, requests for federal construction money. So this would be after we've developed some of the concepts and the plans, whenever the court has agreed on a project and it's eligible for, we've identified it's eligible for federal construction money. That's about the time frame where a lot of those grants come out. And so we can anticipate in October that we can reapply for construction dollars on some of the projects we identified. And next slide, please, Jennifer. And so deliverables for this plan would be updated floodplain mapping across the county. We have the opportunity to update drainage and floodplain criteria across the county as well. Identify construction projects and the costs, develop their benefit costs for the eligibility of grant award, and develop an implementation plan. So what does the plan look like to actually get the projects implemented and funded over the next 10 to 15 years? And that is what this grant would do.
Any questions, Marilyn?
Well, I want to thank you all for bringing this to us, or it would never been nowhere without this. I think it's going to be quite an interesting project, and I think it's going to benefit, like I say, a whole bunch of us, a lot. Is it the end of our story? No, probably need a whole bunch more down the road, but I really want to thank you all for bringing this to the table to us, or I would have been one of them who would never even got hold of it. But I'm excited to get to work on it.
I think it's very timely. Sure.
So a couple of questions. The federal grant, what is the breadth of the projects that we would expect from the federal government? Is it from cleaning out waterways all the way up to building bridges?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so there's a bunch of different grants that have different requirements.
Mm-hmm.
And the primary grants that the government expects for this grant is flood mitigation for bridges, roads, and residential, non-residential flooding. So people's houses that get flooded or businesses, identifying projects that reduce that risk. That's their number one priority for this grant. But what we will also do as part of this is identify low water crossings that need to get fixed, that don't necessarily have houses or structures that are in the floodplain, or even ideas or projects where you want an automated low water crossing gauge. We can go after grants for that, identify the locations where you don't necessarily want to build bigger culverts or bridges, but you can do an automated low water crossing gauge. And then there's also maintenance grants that you can go after as well. And so that would come as part of the implementation plan on what are the priorities of the county. And so that's what this plan will do, is say, hey, year 1 to 5, we want to go after this, this, and this. And we'd have to determine the eligibility of each one of those different projects that are identified.
Yeah, like I say, on this thing here, since having a bridge washed out, you really don't realize the impact it does to you financially and mentally, and putting a lot of people, displace a lot of people, mainly the school district. I have identified probably at least 5 more bridges that need to be worked on. Flat Rock's one of them.
Seriously.
You know, I got some low water crossings that need to be done down there on Bickford Lane. That thing I need quarter mile, a low water crossing. The water gets up 2 foot, that's it. Because you're not gonna get from Highway 90 to LaCoste, and that's a major bus route. So yes, I think going forward, this thing really opened my eyes up what really needs to be going down the road.
What this does is, you know, a lot of times communities have a disaster and they have to react and go after the disaster funding, and there's limited time to go after it. You don't have a plan in place to go after the project. So this would put the plan in place so you're armed whenever the non-disaster grants come out. You have the plans where you can just pull that information and go after the funding. And so there's a lot more, you know, a lot of 75, 90%, and even there's some 100% total federal funding projects or grant opportunities out there.
I think this is very timely because one of the things is if we can invest our time for Medina County in looking at our drainage problems when the grants come out and they are available, we're not having to come back each time and go through the process of asking the commissioners, what problems do you have with your, you know, drainage in your precincts? We already have something to start with. And if by chance that y'all find a grant program that has a very strict deadline, you already have the information there to be able to quickly turn around and submit for that grant, so we have a chance of getting that extra money for it.
Yeah, and a lot of people do these plans without the federal money, so this was actually really good. I've never worked with a community that had the funding to do this plan. It's always been out of their pocket. So, you know, 90% to do the plan is a pretty big deal. So I'm pretty proud of that.
Okay, well, we need just approval of this then.
Yes, sir.
I will make a motion that we approve the contract task order for professional engineering services for the FEMA and CMDD projects scope working master plan.
Second.
For Medina County.
Have a motion and a second to approve the contract task order for professional engineering services for the FEMA and CB project scoping grant, master drainage plan with Westwood Professional Services. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you. Item 25, discuss and take possible action on approval of a local hazard mitigation planning services contract with Grant Works Incorporated to support the county in the submission of an application and the update the hazard mitigation plan. So today, as you all know, we went through and selected Grant Works to be the ones to do our hazard mitigation plan, but this is the actual contract with them to say, make it official, have them do it.
I will make it official. That is enough.
Close.
I will make it official. Approve the local hazard mitigation planning service contract with Grant Works Incorporated.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the local hazard mitigation planning services contract with Grant Works Inc. to support the county in the submission of the application for the hazard mitigation plan.
Judge? Sorry
Any
to
other
interrupt.
discussion? Yes, go ahead.
Before y'all take the vote, I just wanted to point out, this was a contract that I was given kind of short notice last week for review. I did make a number of comments that I have not gotten responses back on yet. And so I was just wondering if any approval could be contingent on resolution of legal review.
Just, you can make it legal contingent on the legal review.
On conditions of legal requirement from the county attorney,
Contingent on the legal.
contingent on the legal review.
By the county fire attorney. Is that good? Your second still stand?
Yes.
Does that work for you?
It works for me.
contingent.
I just like to
Yes.
get a response from Grant Works and be able to resolve those contract issues.
Yes, so I'll make sure that Maggie's done that before I sign off.
Good enough.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 26, discuss and take possible action on approval to execute interlocal agreements and participation agreements for the Medina County Hazard Mitigation Plan with the following cities. Of course, it's exactly what it says. We have the interlocal agreements as part of the hazard mitigation, and all of our cities, Castroville, Divine, Hondo, and La Crosse, and Natalia are included in the county's master, in the hazard mitigation plan. So these are the individual between them. They have not signed off on that, correct? This is just, we're doing it first, then they'll vote to them.
They match what was discussed in the contract for the cities would be $1,250, and our match is $17,500. But more than likely, this won't come out until next fiscal year, because we still have to go out for the application and submit it to TM and for review and approval.
I'll move that we grant approval to execute interlocal agreements and participation agreements for the Medina County Hazard Mitigation Plan with the following cities: Castroville, Divine, Hondo, La Crosse, and Natalia.
I'll second.
Have a motion or second to approve the interlocal agreements for the participation on the Medina County Hazard Mitigation Plan with the Castroville, Divine, Hondo, La Crosse, and Natalia. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 27, discuss and take possible action on a resolution authorizing the submission of an application to update the county hazard mitigation plan and to appoint the county judge as the chief executive officer and authorizing representative to act in all matters in connection with the hazard mitigation grant. So you all have the resolution in front of you. Of course, we'll be able to do that and execute any of the documents.
I'll make a motion that we take action on the resolution and appoint the county judge as the executive order authorizing representative to act in all matters.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second approving the resolution authorizing the submission of the application to update the county hazard mitigation plan and appoint the county judge as the chief executive officer and authorizing the representative to act in all matters in connection with the hazard mitigation grant. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 28, discuss and take possible action on adoption of a resolution committing the county to providing 25% non-federal match contingent upon award of the hazard mitigation grant.
The match amount is $22,750 that we're going to be responsible for, but of that amount, $6,250 will be covered by the cities if they enter their interlocal agreement.
Which is our 17.5.
Yes.
So I recommend the adoption of the resolution committing the county to provide a 25% non-federal match contingent upon the award of the hazard mitigation grant.
Have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution committing to the county to provide a 25% non-federal match contingent upon the award of the hazard mitigation grant. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Item number 29, discuss and take possible action to adopt a policy prohibiting the appointment of an ESD board member who is in arrears in Medina County taxes and/or is an adverse party in pending litigation against Medina County. This is a two-part today, and we're really working on trying to get standardized applications, not just for ESB boards, but across the county PID boards and all these things that we're trying to work on standardizing. And so we were tasked with that. Maggie and I sat down with it, and one of the items that is in there is the, asking about being the taxes and being in arrears. So we have this as an item, adopting this as a policy before we actually go to the application itself. So it's a two-part deal. And like I say, this is the first of, as we work through them, as we get to other applications, then we would bring those things to you all as well, moving through the process. Maggie, anything after that?
Well, it's not specific to any individual or current situation. It's just a policy moving forward in general. When people apply for these boards, we just want to be careful that the county's vetting these applicants properly.
Yeah, on that, I've read all their laws on this one, which I'm sure you have, and I pulled up all the stuff from 775. And that kind of states it in there, if you're in arrears or appeal or under litigation against the county, you can't sit on any of the boards. But like I say, it pretty well spells it out in depth in chapter 775 and their own handbook. So with that being said, I will move forward, possible action to a policy prohibiting the Department of ESB board member who is in arrears of Medina County taxes or adverse party in pending litigation against the county. That's in the rules of record. But anyhow, I'll make a motion.
Have a motion, second.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adopt a policy prohibiting the appointment of an ESB board member who's in arrears on Medina County taxes and/or is an adverse party in pending litigation against Medina County. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I guess my question is, in the next agenda item, we're going to very possibly approve the application, which probably deals with that. Correct. I'm just curious as to why we pulled that out.
She said it needed to be a policy. We
Well,
needed to do it as policy.
If the draft application states that it's a policy and it's not in fact a policy,
Okay.
we just thought we would go through the
So
formality.
these other things dealing with child support and all the other things, they're not necessarily policies.
It's a question that's posed to the applicant.
Okay.
And as Commissioner Sitter stated, we're kind of reiterating our awareness of the rule. The others aren't worded that it's a policy. Yeah.
Makes sense. Thank you.
That was going to be my same question.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 30, discuss and take possible action to adopt a standardized ESB board member application. You all do have it. I hope you've had time to review it. Maggie and I worked through it. We kind of had a template already and hopefully simplified it down to yes and no's. And I think it's a very straightforward. And I think the main thing in there is it also does ask for a resume, which, the questions we would wonder about background and business experience and all the things that may help them make good decisions would be inside of that resume that they could supply as well. So.
Yeah, and then again, on this one here, it is, everything we have here is in the 775 and is in Safe D, which I've got copies of all that. The main thing on the subchapter D, on January 1st of each year, the Commissioner Court shall appoint the successors to each emergency district. And that's what we're asking is once we submit, I am, or she is, or you are representing this person is representing me and the county in this endeavor to represent us. The next thing is it seems like more and more every year, we get to the end of the year and really the ESD board has one major step to bring to the Commissioner Court, and that's our audit. They can't get it done. It's just year after year after year. And to their rules here. This last year, I think we had had two at the same time, one before had that. I'm gonna have a list of people that are gonna take the people's place. That's what I'm gonna have. I will interview these people. If she wants to do part of it in her district, if me and her split a district, that's fine. She has 2 or 3 in her district, and I got 2 in mine, or whatever, vice versa. But next time that happens to me, I'll say, yes, I got this right here. These are going to fill these places. We're going to put a stop to this. That's the only thing they have to do is make sure we get an audit, and it is not happening. I'm not saying just my precinct, but a whole bunch of other districts across the board. So I will make a motion that we adopt this also. Adopt the standard ESD board membership application. And I think what you got here is fine. And I'm going to be doing these in my office.
I anticipate over time, like Judge Luce mentioned, other boards that come up will try to kind of encompass it, if it makes sense at that time, into one standard form. But so I see it evolving over time, but I think you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I think this is a good start. I mean, as Medina County continues to grow, I'm really hoping for a lot of participation from the citizens. And I think if we have standardized application processes, then it will make it easier for this court to be able to go out and select good candidates to serve on these boards.
And the rule actually reads, on January 1st of each year, the Commissioners Court shall appoint a successor for each Emergency Services Commissioner whose term has expired, because their term expires January 1. It's right here in the state law. These are not county rules. These are state laws.
And we'll be doing that on January the 8th. We will be doing the appointments.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's why I want to have a list of appointments, is I want to make sure it's on appointment, so I want to appoint. That represents me. So that's what we're passing here. You got one copy of it? You got that one?
Okay, anybody else? You have a motion?
I'm
We have a
gonna
second.
Yeah.
Do we have a second? It's my second.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to adopt a standardized ESD board member application.
And all I'm saying is go out. I didn't ask anybody that was on the board. I just made a couple of phone calls. I got like 8 people want to serve on this board. The work got around fast. Majority of them are firemen.
Any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 31, discuss and take possible action declaring items from the following offices as surplus and or salvage and authorize disposal. We just have, you saw the items in there, a computer tower, and a printer was all we have on there. It's salvage, it's no good.
We declare the items from the following offices as surplus and salvage and all those.
Sorry.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to declare the items as salvage that we have listed under Hondo buildings. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, item number 32, court announcements.
Let me get to my notes.
Now she gets,
Oh, my gosh.
she used to run them down, now she got on.
Got a telephone.
Yeah, I'll take that out.
You can't lose that phone.
I know. Well, there's a reason why it has a yellow back. I can't find it on in my purse sometimes. I'm serious. You can't find it. We've been getting ready for the winter. I mean, today's really kind of that first cold morning that you're starting to see. I did talk about last Commissioners Court meeting as we did our first big project on County Road 2615, which was the 1.2 miles going north towards Red Blue Road from 471. We went back in and we did the final fog seal sealing off that recent seal coat. It looks great, it looks black. I've heard from several residents that they really like it. One of them said I was afraid that I was going to get oil on the car when I drove through it. And I said, no, this is it's a trackless fog seal. So it's one of the newer fog seals that's come out to help prevent from getting oil on your vehicle. And she was really grateful for that. We've also been grading some of our county roads due to the recent rains and doing a lot of brush trimming. As you get to really February, a lot of the farmers are going to be coming down those gravel roads with their big equipment, and I don't want it scratching their equipment. So we've had our boom shredder going for a while. We're working on some roads in Dunley with the material that was donated from Clark Construction a couple of commissioners' board meetings back. So we've been working on some of the county roads in Dunley. We're going to be continuing to do that through the new year before we pack that all down and get that sealed off with a good fog seal, give them a really smooth run. So continuing to wrap up, the guys are all excited about the Christmas break, and I understand that. And I want to wish everybody happy holidays because I know it's coming up faster than everyone expects.
I've been hunting all week, I'm not gonna lie. But I got back and everything's still going. I only had 2 phone calls to return, so I guess everybody done good. Had a wonderful hunting trip out in West Texas and everything went great. You know, I had to be back at work. A week off is enough for me.
Precinct 3 is doing good. My guy stepped up in my foreman's absence for 5 or 6 weeks, but hallelujah, he is back. And so we count on Mr. Patterson quite a bit. But we've still got quite a good-sized crew, which is not always normal this time of year. But we're carrying on, doing what we can do.
Like Larry, I was out of state hunting, so.
We work together.
My guys kept everything up there going, finished up in Twin Lakes, and after today, I'll be down to 1 person till January 8th, so we'll be in limp mode for a little while.
We're gonna be in the same position.
Good. Just a couple of things. Now, I might have told a couple of people in court, but we had applied for that feral hog grant, and we did not receive that money. Just FYI, I don't remember how many they awarded, but we were not getting it. Also, just to thank you to everybody at the Christmas party. We had a great turnout, employees. I did mention, of course, I'm sitting here with the 4 of you all, and it was kind of, to me, I guess, an oversight on my part. We did it on a Friday, and we won't do that anymore. We'll make sure we do it on a day when the precincts are working and stuff. But we had a fantastic turnout, great event. Everybody had a good time. So, also, just if everybody, Judge Cashman's grandson has some really serious medical issues going on, and I ask you all, that, especially during this season, that y'all keep him and his family in prayer for their grandson, so everything will turn out okay. With that said, this is our last court meeting for the year. It's really hard to believe that a year has already flown by again. Would really like to thank all of you. There's a lot of faces out there that participate all year long and bring a lot of information to us and participate, and we appreciate each and every one of you. I will say, I tell people all the time, you know, but for the grace of God, we were born in the United States of America. We even got luckier if you live in Texas, and I think you are even luckier if you live in Medina County, and I truly believe that. I mean, with all the challenges and stuff we sit up here and we argue about sometime, and some things get a little heated. At the end of the day, I know that everybody in this room just wants this to be a better place and a better county. And I think that over the last 12 months, I hope that we've worked that way. But there's so much, as you all know, to do in front of us. next year. So I think we're ready to enjoy, and I hope everybody enjoys the end of the year. And we're going to be ready to come back full steam in '24 and get out there and take on all the challenges we have. But I think mainly we're here and want to embrace all these opportunities. There's just so much available to us right now. So with that, Merry Christmas, everybody, and we will see everybody in 2024 back here. So thank you, appreciate it. I'll take a meeting, a motion to adjourn. I have a motion and a second, all in favor, aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Who made the